attentively and ask relevant questions from the players who will be making presentations to us. Okay, we are made to understand by the CEO of Kuva, Celine Onugu, that vision is a mental image of our desired business direction, and that our vision should be clear, as it is difficult to achieve our goals without a clear vision. Also, a vision statement should contain our core values, which should align with our business goals. We had an interactive session with Mrs. Inena Jacobs from FCMB on how to get financing for solar opportunities and also get financing on the She Ventures, a business initiative by FCMB, which provides financial and non-financial services to female entrepreneurs. Finally, we also had an interactive session with FIRS. They made presentation on tax reforms, and what we are expected to file as we term, and how to go about the different taxes, with emphasis on ensuring we obtain our receipts and credit notes when we file our taxes. I think that's about a brief recap on what we learned yesterday. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very, very much, Ms. Omu. Thank you so much for that recap. I'm sure some of us have remembered, and we can relate to whatever she has said. So I think we'll continue with yesterday we had Standard Organization of Nigeria. They waited, but they couldn't speak. So I would beg Kuva, I know she's here with us. You're welcome, Ms. Selina. I'll beg that you give us a little time. She's supposed to be our first speaker, but please, you give us a little time so that Son can come up. They waited yesterday. So we want to invite Mrs. Chiamaka Angagwa. I'm so sorry. I hope I said it correctly.
Anyagwa.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, ma'am. Mrs. Phoebe Arumeri was supposed to speak with us, but I think she had other engagements. So, Mrs. Chiamaka, you're welcome.
Thank you. It's Chiamaka Anyagwa. Good morning.
Chiamaka,
good morning,
please
all.
Forgive me. I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you.
Good morning, all. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, my name is Chiamaka Anyagwa. On behalf of our son, on behalf of our DG, the Director General, Standard Organization of Nigeria, and the Son Management Team, I congratulate SMIDAN for organizing this webinar to sensitize the MSMEs for their development with focus on women entrepreneurs. And having said that, I'll go straight into my presentation for today. Okay. Please, the next slide. Hello, can you hear me? I don't know.
Yes. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, I'll use my slide here. So you can, please, the next slide. The presentation outline is there. The next slide, okay. There is the aims and objectives of SON and the rest of them. So I will quickly go through it so that I've given them, so maybe if you need it, you can get it from SMIDAN. So we go to aims and objectives of SON, preparation of standards relating to products, measurement materials and processes, among others, and their promotion at the national, regional, and international level. The national level is our normal standards, that's the Nigerian national standard. The regional has to do with the African standards, that's the African standards developed by ASO. Then we have the international standards, which are the ones developed by ISO, IEC, and the rest of them. Then also our objective, aims and objective also centers on certification of industrial product, assistance in the production of quality goods. The assistant has to do with technical assistance. Then next slide, please. So SON services to support MSMEs trade within and across Nigeria's border. We look at the services we offer, that standardization, certification, registration, and services, because there are standards for services. So we go to our key definitions. Next slide, please. Key definitions, that's on standards. What standards are? They are documents which specifies requirements agreed by stakeholders, and part of the stakeholders are you, the MSMEs, as essential for achieving quality. Then conformity assessment, the process of determining whether products, processes, systems, or people meet specified requirement through inspection, testing, and certification. I will explain that more as we move on. Then what is quality is defined as what? It's all about compliance to standards when it relates to standard, and is defined as what? The degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfill requirements. That's within a product, there are certain things that are supposed to be found in a product, be it food product, be it other household items we use, or even a car. Everything has a specification for it. So quality, what does quality do? It defines fitness for purpose. It is also the extent to which a product meets or fulfills the purpose or use it is intended for, and it is defined by the customer. What does this mean? It means if I want a product as a customer, I have to tell the manufacturer, I need this, this, and that within it. And if it's not found there, the customer will say what? It is below my expectation, below quality. Next slide, please. So we go on SON generally is known for standards. So I would like to take a recap on what standards development process is, just a rundown. It has to do with, I will explain this as we move on. It has to do with data collection and drafting of standards by the technical secretary. This standard that is being drafted or collection of this data is done from stakeholders who are supposed to be involved in standards development, because SON is just a custodian of the standard. The standard actually is developed by the stakeholders, including the MSMEs and other relevant sectors like the research institutes and other government and private organizations. Then there is the in-house committee review and updating for stakeholders' comment. That's the work group. And then we have the collation and harmonization of stakeholders' comment by the technical committee, review by SON management for approval by Standards Council of Nigeria. And finally, we have the publication of the standard. I will explain as we move further so that you get a clearer picture of what standard development is all about, so that you as MSMEs will be encouraged to participate in standard development, because it is all about you, it is all about your product. And we can see, next slide please, and we can see a typical technical committee meeting being held. We can see SON stands as the secretariat, taking note of what is being discussed. Stakeholders meet and agree. That is why we say standard is a document that is produced as a result of consensus. They agree, yes, this should be in it, this should not be in it, this parameter should be there, because standard actually is all about quality and safety. So we look at the standards critically by experts from different fields, including the MSMEs, where the standards are looked at critically and is developed to suit our country, to suit our climate and things like that. So we go to benefits of, next slide please, benefits of standards and certification. Standards, actually, there are so many benefits that you as an MSME can derive from patronizing SON and getting the standards you need for your products, because it will help you reduce waste. It gives the customer, that's the people who buy your products, will be satisfied because you're keeping to a specific or a specified way of doing things, which is in accordance with a relevant document, which we call standard. So benefits as listed here: customer satisfaction, compliance with regulatory requirements, and continuous improvement, which means that we follow what is required of us by different government organizations who try to also monitor production outfits and manufacturing factories and the rest of them. So they check, are you complying with probably environmental regulations? Are you complying with standards? Are you complying with different other specifications laid down for a manufacturing outfit to follow, so that the environment is not affected, so that consumers get the best quality out of that manufacturing outfit? So we also see other benefits also include competitiveness for local and international market access. When we keep to standards, it means we can also export our product, not just sell locally, increasing the country's GDP and also making more profit for ourselves as MSMEs. Then it promotes what? New innovations. We can see there are times we get letters and inquiries concerning some products. If we have the standard, it helps us to now look at those things and look at those products and bring those MSMEs that are into these new innovations, new products together to develop that standard. That was why I said SUN actually doesn't develop standard. We are only custodians of those standards. That standards are developed by MSMEs and other relevant organizations. Then it also helps in business planning, implementation, monitoring, evaluation, and continuous improvement. Then we have different, next slide, please, different types of standards. We have the product standard, we have the system and service standard, and we also have codes of practice. Codes of practice mostly is a form of guide. It guides, especially codes of practice are developed majorly for like food products for farmers, to guide them in how to plant, and aside from that, also guide them on what kind of soil are you using. Don't use this, do that. It's just a kind of guide, because if we talk about quality, for example, for food products, it starts from the farm. So this code of practice helps the farmer to understand, oh, I should not be found here. Oh, there are waste, there's a waste generating probably a company or something close to my farm. It should not be sited there, and things like that. And what kind of soil are you using? Because all standard is all about quality and safety. So if you produce where waste is, what will that it implies that the soil will be contaminated, and the seed, whatever you're planting, whatever grows there, will definitely be contaminated. So the codes of practice helps to intimate the farmers, to make them understand there are certain rules guiding where you site your farm, what you should do, the type of soil, and other things that relate to farming. Then we also, next slide please, then we also have safety standards, test methods, and terminology. Next slide please. Then we go to conformity assessment activities of SUN in ensuring quality products. So we're back to the inspection, testing, and certification. So at the inspection, these inspections, they are actually carried out at the state offices. We have our state offices all over the country, and these state offices actually carry out these inspections to factories and other manufacturing sites. This inspection is carried out to help guide the producers, the manufacturers, on what to do, and also encourage them to purchase the standards, to help them keep to the specifications within the standard so that their products are of quality and they are safe for, if it's for consumption, yes, they are safe for consumption, or if it's for use, they are safe for use if they are not food products. Then testing actually involves carrying out product testing to ensure that the product satisfies the minimum requirement. This testing is done. The inspectors actually kind of do a random sampling of the products that they've gone to inspect. They take it to the lab to carry out tests in the lab to see if it conforms. That's why we say conformity assessment. If it conforms to the requirements of the relevant standards. It may not be one standard, it may be one or two or three standards. Then, if these products conform, what is the next step? The next step is for SON to issue what? Initiate the process of certification, to issue a certificate that of conformity to those factories and manufacturing companies. So this certification is called what? It goes through a process we call MANCAP, that is the Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program, that's MANCAP. And there are other certifications SON carries out, like SONCAP, that is an offshore. For those bringing in products, they go for the SONCAP. But for manufacturers within the country, they are certified using the MANCAP process, that's the Mandatory Conformity Assessment, to ensure that your product conforms to the standard of standards related to the products that the MSMEs are producing. And also, I would like to let you know, as the MSMEs, that there is SON website has been updated, and we have the eMANCAP, which means that you as an MSME can stay in the comfort of your office, your home, wherever, and initiate the process for your certification if your product passes the test, that is the testing stage. Next slide, please. So we look at the support to ease compliance. There are different programs that SON brings up to help ease compliance. There are actually some products. There are actually some products that do not have standard. That's the innovation we are talking about, that do not have standard. And what SON actually does is to help them go under a certification scheme, which is ongoing, is a work in progress for SON right now. That's a product identification scheme. A product is identified in the market that it actually doesn't have standard. What do we do? If those MSMEs come to SON, SON actually initiates what we call the product identification scheme, where all the processes, most of the processes for MANCAP certification is actually done. And if this product actually is conforming somehow, they are kind of following set guidelines in standard, because there are some guidelines that are just there in the standard. What SON does is to issue them a kind of certificate to tell them, okay, you can produce while we work with you as stakeholders, as part of the stakeholders, to develop the standard. So the standard is immediately initiated. If such MSMEs come up to SON to say, I have this product, you have the standard, and probably the standard is not yet developed, the standard then is initiated, because it's more like an identified product which customers buy, and which needs a standard to help curb any substandard product in the market. Then we also have the incentives that SON offers to support MSMEs. There are, for the standards, it's subsidized. It's actually like 50% for the MSMEs to be able to afford it. And then the certification charges are also reduced. And then the lab testing too is reduced to make it affordable for the MSME so that they don't start complaining or trying to say we are not getting certified because the cost of certification is too high. Next slide, please. Okay, and here we have some collaborative efforts between SON and other regulatory agencies. SON, like I told you, that MSMEs are part of the stakeholders. We also have some government agencies that are also stakeholders when it comes to developing standards, and we can see them here: the CAC, NAFDAC, NEPC, SMIDAN, and raw materials. So they are all stakeholders when it comes to developing standard. All these government agencies are part of those standard development because they have one or two things to add to that standard. Then the challenges we face as SON when it comes to developing our standards. Most of our MSMEs are sometimes not interested, even when they are invited. They are not interested in standards development. They feel, it's government work. It's not government work. It's not government problem. It is a stakeholders affair, which means you as the MSMEs are part of it. And you should avail yourself when invited, please. I'll use this opportunity to say, please, when invited, please try to participate in the standard so that not at the end you say, I can't use the standard, I don't understand it because it's the government that developed it. No, it's not the government, it's other willing stakeholders who were present. So I'll encourage us whenever we are invited for standards development, please let's attend and be part of it. And then we also have this challenge, even with the inspection.
Sorry, Ms. Chiamaka, sorry. Please, those of us that are not speaking, can we please silence our microphones?
Yeah, it's noisy.
Yeah, thank you. Please go on, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So I encourage every one of us, that's the MSMEs, to participate in the standards development. And also, like I was saying something about inspection, testing, and then certification. There is this also problem we encounter, lack of voluntary compliance to requirements of the standard. Sometimes when this inspection officers visit these factories and manufacturing sites, they tend to comply. But when these people leave, they tend to go back to what they think is best. It is not the best because it will, at the end of the day, affect your product by and large. It will affect it because when you go below the requirements or below the quality, it will, at the end of the day, affect one customer will discover it. And when one customer discovers that, the customer is going to tell one, and one will tell two will tell 10, like that. It keeps going. That product, don't patronize it. What they give us is not what we actually, not what is on their label or something. So it's good for us to voluntarily comply with requirements, make it a kind of a lifestyle so that your products will not somehow be affected or people will no longer patronize your product. And then lack of involvement in workshop and seminars to build capacity. We have so many MSMEs scattered all over the country, but when invited for workshops and webinars and seminars like this, or seminars which is physical, or workshop like trainings to build them, to tell them to acquire this skill or that skill to help. Some of them feel they are reluctant. And then expectation for free service charges as conditions for compliance, or lack of interest in export potentials. Some of us, or some of the MSMEs, I'm not going to export, so let me keep doing it the way I do it. Let me stay here. Let me not improve on my quality. So these things really, when quality, sometimes they'll tell you it's expensive or it's not attainable. It is, because at the end of the day, when you have a quality product and it's safe, at the end you will enjoy maximum, I believe, maximum profit. And not just that, MSMEs are like they are the ones who generate most of the GDP for our country. So when we look at it from the perspective of I will gain and the country will gain, and our products can sell outside the shores of Nigeria, we will be encouraged to do what? To go for quality, to go for standard, to stay on the requirements given in the standards. And then sometimes when we invite the MSMEs, they are asking for financial support. Like I said, there was a place I read support, which I added technical support. We don't offer financial support to MSMEs. It is outside the mandate of SON. Next slide, please. Okay. No, the role of MSMEs. I think the next slide should be the role of MSMEs. Yes, the role of MSMEs in production, in product compliance with standards for enhanced quality for market access. The first one tells us that, please, MSMEs, you should see SON as a business facilitator and an enabler through standards, through technical support that we offer you when we visit your facilities. Allow SON to improve the quality of your product and confirm it. How do we confirm it? Through the testing, and then we offer you the certificate of compliance. Ask SON for standards relating to your product and apply for SON mark of quality. You, the MSMEs, your cooperatives, your association can join the technical committee meetings. That's to develop standards, like I showed us in one of the previous slides, the standard development and process, the TC meeting, what it looks like. So you should help us join when you're invited through personally or through your cooperatives. Please attend those meetings so that you will understand what standard is all about. Because for some, it's like standard is vague. It's not something meant for me. No, when you attend, you will understand that standard is something that you can actually live with, comply with. Even generally looking at life, we all have standards. We all have ways of doing things in our home. Even our beds we sleep on, we look at it, oh, this mattress is too soft for my liking. You go for what you want. Everything has to do with standard. From waking up to sleeping, it's all about standard. If we actually look at it, the paste we use to brush our teeth, we always look at it, it has to comply. The toothbrush has to comply. The clothes we wear, textile, it has to comply. So waking up and going to bed is all about standards. So if we live with that knowledge that everything we do is all about standards, we'll be able to appreciate what standards bring to our life, bring to our table, even bring profits when we go into business. Then standards implementation should form part of your companies and associations policy with timelines for compliance. Ensure your workers maintain standards in your company. Let them not do what we call here in Nigeria, chua-chua. We can always do it this way and still arrive. Someday the chua-chua might not work and we'll all you probably get into maybe what we now call when SON or NAFTA now comes on you because one customer's health has been affected, and then your facility has to be sealed, and then you're going to court. Let's try to avoid such things. Let's maintain standards and live and get the profit, and even aspire to export our product to other countries. Then prove that your product has quality. purchase the applicable standards, understand the standard. So I said you have to attend this meeting so that you understand it. Not when you're giving, you say, what are all these? What is the meaning of parameter? What is the meaning of this? When you attend these standard development meetings, you will understand it and you'll be able to keep it, and even have a mini lab in your facility to check one or two things to say, oh, yes, I'm conforming, I'm following the standard. Then produce to requirement. Test your product in some lab to confirm the parameters. Propose and participate in developing standards. So the onus lies on you to decide, yes, I will participate, I will ask on for standards, or if there are no standards, how are we going to develop it? Be part of the stakeholders that develop this standard, because SON does not, like I keep saying, develop standard. You, the MSMEs and other relevant organizations develop the standard. Then finally, I'll say seek support and suggest areas of improvement to SON. If what SON is doing or how SON is going about it is not okay, we are welcome to improvement. You can come as a stakeholder, tell SON this and this. Our environment doesn't align with this. Why don't we do this to equally still achieve standard? Next slide, please. So our next slide is on our communication strategies. You will see our line, our toll-free lines are there. Like I said, the document, the presentation is with Smidan. So if you need it, you can request for it from them. Then we have the customer complaint and feedback line for SON FCT office. You can call the toll-free line and they will connect you. Then our email, if you want to send us an email, the next slide, info@son.gov.ng. And then for our website too, you can go to our website, that's the www.son.gov.ng. You will see different products and services SON offers, including the e-ManCap. If you feel maybe you don't want to go to the state office, you can also start off your certification when the testing has confirmed that you comply. That's where you conform to, your product conforms to the standard. You can then start off the ManCap process all by yourself. But if you still need assistance, you can walk into any of the state offices that is closest to you. And thank you all for listening. So I'm open for any question. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Mrs. Chiamaka, for that library of information. In fact, you have really taught us a lot about your processes and your standards. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please, if we have any questions for Mrs. Chiamaka, please, we have just 5 minutes for questions and answers. So you can just indicate. Okay, there is one Aworetan H.
Yes, good morning.
Sorry, I don't know if it's okay. Yes, good morning.
Thank you, Madam Chiamaka, and thank you, Smidan. My interest was caught from a delivery. I'm in the space of standardization, audit management, compliance, just in the services that SON does give to SMEs and the economy in the nation. However, my curiosity is the reason for this question, where we know that MSMEs are struggling entity economically in Nigeria. And it is true that wherever you go as SON or certification needs, MSMEs will ask for financial support. They will ask for cutting of cost. I want to ask Madam Chiamaka that does SON, and since she's a federal entity, have they not appreciated this request, this concern, to the point of the federal government being able to bring out solutions towards subsidizing certification for the needful MSMEs? Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah. So many people. Can I answer, or is there any other question, please?
Yes, I think you can go ahead, Ms. Chiamaka, but please, those of us that have unmuted themselves, please, let's mute ourselves. It's getting noisy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just raise a hand if you want to
Okay.
ask a question, and I'll call you out. Thank you very much. Please go on, ma.
Okay, like I said from the slide, if you were listening, ma, I said that most of our products that we offer to MSMEs are subsidized. I said that. And then for financial support, I actually mentioned that SON is out of SON's mandate. We cannot support an MSME maybe through financing the growth of that MSME. SON is out of SON's mandate. I think there are other government organizations that handle such request for finance. That's the BOI, Bank of Industry, BOA, for those of Bank of Agriculture and some other agencies of the government, the federal government, that actually handles the financial aspect through loans and other grants and other programs or products that they have for the MSMEs to support them financially.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chiamaka. I hope she has answered your question.
Yes,
We have
yes.
oh, all right. Thank you so much. We have Techno KJ5. I don't know the name. Techno KJ5.
All right. Thank you so much, Smidan. It's been a wonderful session since yesterday. And to the presenter, kudos to you. As a matter of fact, all the presenters from yesterday, you've done marvelously well. My name is Benjamin, and I'm the national president of the MedLab Cooperative. Several of my executive and members are on this call presently. Thank you. We are into value addition for foods, and we're also into livestock feed production. Currently, we are doing them on small scale, and we've been able to gather some partners, including one of the cooperatives on this call currently, NACON. We are partnering with them so that we go large scale. Currently, our production is still being consumed by our members because we produce it ourselves. So we are sure of what we are producing, and we are about to go large scale. So it is a happy thing that we are getting this information and awareness today on this platform. If it is possible, I would like to get the phone numbers of the presenter from SON so that we can engage on a more personal ground instead of just throwing all the questions on this platform and bore the other participants. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Benjamin. Ms. Chiamaka, can you indulge him with that request? Is it possible?
No problem. Yes, you can give him, please. I don't mind.
All right, so no problem. Okay, no problem. Mr. Benjamin will get back to you.
How do you intend to get back to me, please?
Ms. Regina is going to put it on the chat room.
Chat. Yes, you can.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll just pick it from there. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. There is one Mrs. Favor Jumai Daffy. She's asking how you can make the process less stringent, especially for those of them that have just started a small business. If that is possible, Mrs. Chiamaka.
Okay. Actually, SON actually considers them, like she said, that they are just starting. We have what we call now NMSMEs. That's the nano, the micro, the small, and the medium enterprise. So for the nano, we actually, is not what we'll charge a nano, someone who is in his or her house in a small place producing, is not what we're going to charge the medium that is out there in the factory. So we actually
Okay.
consider them. Son actually considers that, because for nano it's just you and probably one person too. So we're not,
Okay.
because when we are trying to put up like our service charge for certification and the rest, we look at that. Oh, it's just a one-man business. Oh, it has 10 workers. This has 50. So we consider that, please. We actually put it into consideration when we are trying to certify the nano, the micro, and then the small and medium. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Chiamaka. We really appreciate you. We honestly hope that this our relationship will be strengthened, because I know there are so many MSMEs that would like to visit your office for all that you have said. So thank you so much, Ma. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. And I also want to use this media to wish everyone a very happy new year. And I pray to be rewarding for all our MSMEs and for us all. Thank you very much.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much, Ma.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Yes, Ma. Thank you. So we're going to our next speaker. She has been waiting. We're so sorry. The CEO of KUVA, Mrs. Selina Onogu. She's going to continue from yesterday. We remember that yesterday she started our the talk on on innovative business solutions for MSMEs, on clarity, clarifying our vision. So we invite you, Mrs. Selina Onogu. Thank you so much for waiting.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Thank you once again, Smedan, and also thanks to the DG for having me here again today. Hi, business owners and entrepreneurs. How are you all doing today? I'm excited to be here for day 2. I made a promise that I was going to give you a breakdown of how you can set achievable goals as a continuation of yesterday's program. So I would like to share my screen now to take us into this session. Okay. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Right. Okay. So the topic is clarify your vision, how to define and achieve your business vision, your business goals in 2025. Yesterday, we looked at the meaning of vision. Before we can even think about clarifying our goals or even moving into the future, we have to first of all understand what vision means. And not just that, we also have to know its importance, because when you know the importance of a thing, it's a lot easier for you to give attention to it so that it can bring you results. A topic, what I'm going to go into today would be how to define and achieve your business goals. We have our learning objectives for today. By the end of this session, you'll be able to identify the importance of goal setting. You'll be able to create clear and actionable business goals. You'll be able to develop an actionable plan. You'll also be able to identify and overcome obstacles that hinder goal achievement. We are going to breeze through, some of it just to help you based on your questions from yesterday. Now, the subject of goal setting is broad. The subject of vision and visioning is equally broad. But by introduction, goal setting is the process of defining what you want to achieve and creating a roadmap to get there. So we hear a lot about goal setting. People come up with programs, seminars. At the start of the year, individuals, business owners, organizations, they set out to clarify their goals or to set goals for the year. but many do not truly understand the power of goal setting, especially if it is coming from your vision, where you are heading. So it is a powerful tool that transforms your aspirations into actionable steps, giving you clarity, focus, and direction in life and in business. Setting goals helps you to prioritize your time and energy. And as business owners, this is important. As a business, it is key for you to know how to prioritize your time and your energy so you're not throwing it all over. It ensures that your efforts align with your values and also your long-term vision. So yesterday, I didn't mention that we have short-term and we have long-term vision. Your long-term vision is your vision for the next 2, 3, 5, or 10 years. And your short-term vision will be your vision for the year. And for the purpose of this program, we are looking at your vision for the year. Ideally, every business should already have a long-term vision that you've visioning that you did probably when you started your business, and in the process of your strategic planning, also having in view 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. So your vision, your goals are supposed to stem from your long-term vision. They are driving you towards your 5 years vision, your 10 years vision. So it's more like seeing your business where it's meant to be in the future whilst you're starting out. And then every effort, everything you do annually, aligns you towards getting to that vision of 10 years, 20 years, or whatever it is at all. Of course, refining over time and reclarifying annually to help you stay more focused. Now, when we talk about goal setting, so many people, I think part of the brain just gets people so afraid, and people feel incompetent when they do not achieve their goals. Well, at the start of the year, business owners, individuals, businesses get up to set goals. But here, there are statistics here that we must look at when it comes to goal setting. According to a study by Statistics Brain, which looked at New Year's goal statistics in detail, just 8% of individuals achieved their New Year's goals with a 92% failure rate. You are the driver of your business, dear business owner, youth. You are the one driving your business. Like I told you yesterday, your business is just part of your life. So you are the visionary, you are the visionary, you are the person who is behind your business. So when you set out to set goals for your business, you need to set goals that will bring you results. This statistics is telling us that just 8% of individuals achieve their New Year's goals, the annual goals, with a 92% failure rate. Why is that? Why is it that individuals, businesses don't achieve their goals? Now let's look at it further. This says that 14% have written goals, only 3% have unwritten goals, only 3% have written goals. 14% have unwritten goals. Only 3% have written goals. We are going to look at it further. It says also that 14% who have goals are 10 times more successful than those 82% without goals. 14% who have goals are 10 times more successful than those 86% without goals. The 3% with written goals are 3 times more successful than the 14% with unwritten goals. Now, it also says that those who write down their goal are 20% more likely to achieve them than those who don't. Dear business owner, do you articulate your goals for the year? Do you write down your goals? So I hear so many people, including entrepreneurs and business owners, saying that, oh, I know what I want to achieve. It's all in my head. When you do not write down your goals and you do not clearly articulate your strategic objectives for the year, stemming from your vision for the year or your long-term vision, is going to cause you to perform below. And that is also going to affect employee performance. It says that individuals who set practical objectives for their goals and begin weekly progress reporting to their encouraging peers tend to do 40% better than those who don't. That's the reason why we belong to communities. That is the reason why we belong to associations where we have similar interest. Amongst your association, being in business, being an entrepreneur, I'm sure you have a group of people who think and reason on the same frequency with you, who also want to be successful. It says that individuals who set practical goals and begin weekly progress, reporting to their encouraging peers, those who want them to succeed, those who have, are on the same frequency with them, those who are in the same group, on the same path with them, they tend to do 40% better than those who do not. Number 3, 90% of individuals do better with relevant and challenging goals. Now we set goals, we set business goals as business owners, but may I ask you, how relevant are your goals? Are those goals also challenging? Do they drive you? Do they push you? Do they stretch you? Do they cause you to want to do more? 90% of individuals who do better with relevant, they do better with relevant and challenging goals. Individuals who are more informed about the goal's purpose have a better chance of achieving their goals. It's not just about setting goals. It is about being informed about the purpose of your goal, and your mission and your vision statement are your purpose document. Your vision drives you forward. Your mission is your purpose document. So the individuals who are more informed about the goal's purpose, which means that we are going back to the same thing that we have said. Individuals who know why they are setting a goal, who know why they want to go to what they want to achieve, what they are achieving, who know where their businesses are heading, who know where they want to be as entrepreneurs, as business owners, have a better chance of achieving their goals. According to research, setting objectives keeps you persistent in business. Yesterday, people were asking, when you experience challenges on the path to your vision, what do you do? How do you overcome obstacles? We had different questions coming up. According to research, setting objectives keeps you persistent. When you set goals, especially goals that are purpose-driven, with a big why, stemming from your mission and your vision, they keep you persistent. They drive you. I always tell people that when you have clarity of vision, when you set your business vision, and that business vision is coming from you as the driver of that business, if it stems from your own personal life vision, which encompasses all the 8 to 9 core areas of your life, you tend to be driven more to achieve your business goals because you know the lifestyle that you want, you know the impact you want to make in society, you know what you will want to achieve in different aspects. So for that reason, your vision stemming from who you are, what you want for yourself drives you. It drives you into your future. It drives you into your business, and it keeps you persistent. It keeps you resilient as well. It's important. It's important for us to know why we should even set goals. Let's look at the importance of goal setting quickly. Clarity and focus. Your goals provide you with a clear roadmap for what you want to achieve within a specific time. You have a time frame. We're going to look at the formula for setting goals, SMART, goals. Your goals keep you focused because there's a timeline, there's when you want to finish it. And it helps you to even prioritize, reducing direct distractions. And it also guides your decision throughout the year. So we find out that so many people start in the year, they say, oh, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that. And then the next thing, they start out and they have people calling them from all over to attend all manners of seminars not even in line with their businesses, not in line with the development that they need for their vision. And this can cause you to lose time. And it can also cause you to be distracted. And at the end of the day, you realize that you don't even achieve much during the course of the year, which can bring about unfulfillment, motivation, and distraction. Having actionable goals gives you a sense of purpose and motivation. When you have actionable goals stemming from your vision, your purpose, where you want your business to be, it gives you a sense of purpose and motivation. Your goals ginger you, especially goals that are purpose-driven. Goals that drive you helps you to see that, look, if I move to achieve this in my business, this is how my business would become. This is how it will reflect on my life. This is how it will reflect on society. This is how it will reflect, it motivates you naturally. So knowing what you're working towards helps you stay driven and also helps you maintain momentum. Alignment with long-term vision. Now, your goals serve as building blocks for your bigger dreams and long-term vision, which I mentioned before. Ideally, before you even start out in business or before you do anything at all, you should have looked into the future of that venture. You should have critically looked at the areas, the future of it, the trend, your position, your value proposition, where you stand, what you're going to bring that is unique to you. You should have had a peek into the future, which is your long term, which I mentioned before. So setting goals keeps you in alignment with that vision that you saw from the beginning, because you are living annually from the picture of the future that you saw from the beginning. Accountability. Setting specific actionable goals holds you accountable. When you write down your goals, it's a lot easier for you to go back to it and review and look at it and make sure that you are in line. You tend to make adjustments, you check if it's working or not, and then you stay committed to it. So when you don't have goals, you're unable to do this as you should. So it becomes easier to identify what's working for you. You can set goals and it can change over time, maybe based on factors, either internal or external factors can cause your goals to change. Being accountable brings you back for you to see if it's working, to readjust, or to do anything at all in the aspect of that your goal to drive you forward. Resilience during challenges. Clear goals keep you focused when faced with setbacks. Some people asked this question yesterday. Some people wanted to know. Clear goals keep you focused when faced with setbacks. They remind you of what you're working toward, and they help you refocus when obstacles arise. Personal growth and development. So I heard the first speaker when she talked about encouraging each and every one of us to make it a habit to attend personal development, to attend trainings. This is important. Personal growth and development, working toward annual goals, encouraging continuous learning. Continuous learning. When you have set goals of what you want to achieve in your business, as an entrepreneur, as a driver of your business, right? When you have those goals, it encourages continuous learning, skill development, and self-improvement, which helps you to even grow personally and professionally. So we have business owners who don't even have knowledge of key areas and aspects of business because they do not prioritize personal growth, personal development. It is not only about free programs that are accessible or available to us. It is also about investing in your personal development, and working towards annual goals encourages you to do that as a business. Now, how do we set achievable goals? Now, there's a framework when it comes to setting goals, and this is the SMART framework. Now, let's look at the definition of it. S, which is for the SMART, means specific. You clearly define your goal. You clearly define. Yesterday, I kept mentioning setting specific goals stemming from your vision. Specific, it means clearly defined goals. Measurable, this includes metrics, tracking progress, making sure that the goal that you have set are goals, business goals that you can measure, that you can track your progress, achievable, which means that it must be realistic. It's not when you say in my business, you are just starting out in business or you're just few years in, and then you have created a vision board where you have the picture of maybe Sir Tony Elumelu on your vision board, and every day you are clouded by his image of how he's driving his business, how much money he's making, how you can be. If you start doing the things that he's doing, then the next thing you will go and slam yourself huge financial revenue goals because you want to measure up to Tony Elumelu. No way. If you're starting out, all you need to do is set realistic goals that will drive you towards how to begin to achieve what Sir Tony Elumelu is already achieving in future. So be realistic when you're setting goals, but not cutting yourself short. Make sure those goals are challenging. They might be realistic, achievable, but they should challenge you. Okay? Relevant. Align your goals with your vision and your values. Are your goals relevant? All the goals you've been setting from previous years. For it to be relevant, it has to align with your vision and your values. Your values are your guiding principles. Some of you know it as your core values, right? Are they relevant in alignment with your vision, where you're going long-term, where you want to be by the end of the year, and bringing in your guiding principles, your core values to keep you in line with that goal? Time ban. Any goal you leave open, whatever you leave open without a deadline, just know that it's going to be difficult for you to achieve. So if you want to set achievable goals for your business in 2025, the SMART goal framework is what you should apply. Are we together? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Ms. Selina. We can hear you.
Right. Now let's look at an example. Here's an example. I will complete a certification in digital marketing within 6 months to advance my career. Can you see that? If you look at this, what does it have? Does it embody the SMART framework? I will complete a certification in digital marketing within 6 months to advance my career. We can see that this is stemming from the person's vision. We can also see that it is time bound. We can also see that this goal is clearly articulated. It is specific. And we can also see that it is achievable. A goal like this, I will complete a certification in what? Not just a certification. Some of us say this year, I'm going to sign up for some programs that will enable me to learn marketing, to learn how to align my team and all of that. But here this person is saying, I will complete a certification in digital marketing within a time frame to advance the person's career. Maybe during the process of their visioning, at the space of assessment, the person identified some gaps, some weak areas. And in order for the person to stand out, to come up, the person is saying that I would like to advance my career, my business, my profession. Now let's look at the goal setting process. Number 1, identify long-term goals, e.g. your annual objectives, your goal for this year. You know, yesterday we talked about vision. First of all, you need to clarify your vision. A standard and workable visioning process, business visioning process, embodies your vision, your mission, your core values, your strategic objectives, of course, coming up with your goals from your assessment. So if you have to set long-term goals, those long-term goals will stem from the visioning process, which comes from your vision, mission, and all the way down to So number one, you identify long-term goals. Then what do? You break them down into smaller, actionable milestones, which is what? You will come and you will say quarterly. When you set quarterly, first quarter, second, third, fourth, and then you bring it into monthly. You can also bring it into weekly and also bring it into daily. Number three, you assign deadlines and you prioritize based on impact and urgency. Some of us set goals, but some of those goals are not important. They are not important and urgent. Maybe they're important, but they are not urgent. So it's important that you prioritize so that you focus more on the important and urgent goals that you need to achieve to drive your business to where it should be in the year, so that you can give maximum attention to it, but not just leaving it open. You also assign deadlines. Let's look at an example. You have a goal here to launch a new business by December. Maybe you're already in this business and you want to add a segment because they are related, right? Q1 goal, your goal is to launch that business when? By December, which is time bound, okay? First quarter, you can decide that you will research the market trends and finalize a business plan. Second quarter, you can secure funding and create a product prototype. Third quarter, you can test and refine the product through a pilot program. And then the fourth quarter, which is December, around December time, end of the year, you officially launch and market your business. Here, you can break it down further, just like we said earlier. You break it down on the task, deadline, resources needed, and status. So it's not just about having your goal. You come and break it down. Now your task, you said, if we take the first one, which is to complete the Q1, which is to complete research market trends, you come here and you do what? You said complete market research, your task. When are you going to do it? By Friday. Now you brought it down into week. You've broken it down into milestones into the week, all right? You have to identify the resources that you would need to be able to do that. Write it down clearly and write down who is going to be responsible for every aspect of what you need to do. What kind of resources do you need? Do you need people? Do you need tools? And who are those people? Then your status. Make sure you check and make it clear. Is it in progress? Have you started? Have you not started yet? This will help you. Action planning and progress. It is not enough for you to clarify your vision. It's not just enough for you to set those goals stemming from your vision and for you to even break them down. There's what we call action planning in strategic planning, action planning and progress tracking. It's important if you must achieve your goals for your business for 2025 or any year at all, for you to develop an action plan and also how you're going to track progress as you move forward. Why break down goals? We already looked at that before, right? Large goals can feel overwhelming. Breaking them into smaller steps can make them achievable. But when you break them down to take action towards, it can make them more achievable. It makes it a lot easier for you. Milestones provide checkpoints for measuring progress. When you set milestone, when you develop milestones, it is easy for you to check it and to measure your progress, just like I showed you in the previous slides. Then timelines. Timelines add structure and accountability. Adding timelines, making it time-bound, saying this is when I'm going to achieve it. By December, you can even be more specific and add a date to it. When you do this, your brain's wiring, when you're developing your goals, keeps you focused and it naturally drives you, because the part of your brain which you use to set goals picks up this information and it drives you naturally and intentionally, especially when you go through this goal setting process writing down your goals. So when you do that and you already have it written, it naturally pushes you, all right? And it helps you build structure and accountability. Let's look at some exercise steps from what we just looked at. Number one, you define your main goal. Ensure that the goal is specific, measurable, and meaningful. Of course, we talked about that earlier. And let's look at an example. I want to launch my e-commerce store within 6 months. Specific, this goal can be measurable, and of course, it's meaningful. 2, identify key milestones. What do? Break down the goal into 3 to 5 major milestones that serve as your progress markers. Let's look at it below. For each milestone, for each step that you want to take, each activity you want to do, what? A specific step towards that goal. What are you going to do towards that goal? What are you going to do to achieve that? When? An estimated time frame to achieve it. When are you going to achieve it? What date, month, and day are you going to achieve that? Let's use this example. For those who want to lose weight, if you want to break down milestone 1, you consult with a nutritionist when? Month 1, right? Remember, we are talking about annual goals. Milestone 2, you create a meal and a workout plan, month 2. Milestone 3, you lose 10 pounds, which month? 6 months. Can you see that this is realistic? This is realistic. Lose 10 pounds. When? 10 months, 6 months. All right? Your goal, remember we said it needs to be realistic, achievable, realistic. Milestone 4, reach 20 pounds weight loss goal, 12 months. You are specific what you want to lose by the time in future, by the future goal. Step 3, you create a timeline. How do you do that? You draw a simple timeline on a paper or a digital tool. You can use your Excel sheet. You can use, for those of you who have access to certain tools, you can even take advantage of Canva. You can use your document, your Google document, or your Microsoft, anyone at all. Simply draw out a timeline on paper. You write your goals, you break them into milestones, and what do? Draw a timeline. Mark milestones along the timeline, adding specific deadlines. Put the deadlines there. Ensure deadlines are realistic. Ensure that they are realistic. The time that you're putting, make sure that it is realistic. You cannot you cannot step into the year and say that you want to maybe, let's say, spread into 5 countries. Spread your business into 5 countries. Maybe you want to have like physical presence. Yes, some people can actually come up and begin to think that big in the area of their businesses, which sometimes are not realistic. Okay, I just want to check this quickly. Okay. Ensure that deadlines are realistic and consider potential challenges. Yesterday, there were people who asked questions around overcoming challenges on the way to your vision. Now, when you are setting your goals, especially if you go through the right visioning process, the right visioning and strategic planning process, there are certain areas that you will identify potential challenges. And I mentioned yesterday, especially in the aspects where you're looking at threats. Remember, you're going to be looking at internal and external threats. When we talk about internal threats, we're looking at within your organization, within your business. It can even be with you, the driver of that vision, internally, your mental state, your mindset, and all of that, because all of these embodies and encompasses your business. You are not a different person from your business. You are part of that business. Your business, rather, is part of you. So you would have seen potential challenges that are likely to come in the way. So ensure your deadlines are realistic and consider potential challenges. So I would like to, okay. So let's look at an example. So let's use the example we used earlier. Your task, month 1, you consult. Your deadline, month 2, you create a plan. Then you check resources needed. And not just that, you check how you're going to reach your goal, month 4, realistic. Number 4, add action steps. Break each milestone into actionable task. Break it down into actionable task. Task that you will take authentic steps towards, actionable steps towards. Many businesses, individuals, business owners do not achieve their goals because they don't take authentic steps. And the reason behind this is because your goals are not broken down. Your goals are not neatly articulated. Your goals are vague. So you have to break each goal, each milestone into actionable steps. Look at your milestones there. You have to break them down into actionable steps. Then what do? Assign a start date. When am I going to start this? When will I begin? Right? When am I going to start? And then what? When will I end it? What is the deadline? When am I going to end this? So example of milestone 1 from what we saw, consult with a nutritionist. Task 1, you will research local nutritionists, week 1. Task 2, schedule an appointment. Task 3, attend consultation and create initial plan. Now that's how to do it. If you want to achieve your goal, this is the design, this is the framework, this is the blueprint for setting goals around your business that will drive you into the year for you to be successful. Now let's look at some tips for success. Start small. Your vision is in the future, is what you want to achieve at the end of the day. It's your outcome. Yes, it will be big, even though achievable, but please come back and start small. You don't see it and want to do it big. Come back and break it down. Start small. Take it each day at a time, one step at a time, building up. This will allow you to refine. This will allow you to check what you're doing well and what you're not doing well. This will actually help you track progress if you're being successful or not. Focus on one goal at a time to avoid feeling overwhelmed. Many of you feel deflated once you step into the year. See, you feel tired because you're trying to achieve too many things at a time. These goals need your attention. You have to give focus and attention to it to make sure that you achieve it and come to a place of satisfaction. Then you move to another. So focus on one goal at a time to avoid feeling overwhelmed. But of course, if you have broken it down and you have key resources, under your key resources, if you have people that you have assigned responsibilities to, yes, they can help you run with it. But if you're the driver of these and report to come back to you, make sure that you focus on one goal at a time. Of course, we also mentioned that it should be one that is of high priority and urgency, okay? Be flexible. Don't just say this is it and that's it. This is how it's going to be. So you see people set goals and they want it to happen that same way. No, it can happen in different ways. So try to be flexible. Don't have a fixed mindset when it comes to your goal attainment or goal achievement. Celebrate progress. My dear entrepreneurs, it's not easy. Business owners, is not so easy. When you achieve a goal, please pause and celebrate. Celebrate your team. Celebrate and enjoy that moment, okay? Some of you, achieve goals. You keep moving, and you don't come back to even celebrate the moment. This will keep you positive. This will make you feel like, yes, I'm doing the right thing. And if there are people around you who are working on this project with you, they are even going to feel more encouraged. So always pause to celebrate progress, and then you pick on, okay? Of course, not for too long. John Maxwell said that we should, even if we want to celebrate our win or anything at all, we should keep it brief within a short time so that we don't begin to dwell on that, all right? So that we don't get off the way of our goals. Reward yourself when you reach a milestone to stay motivated. Come on, business owner, do something for yourself. Some of you make money, you drive yourself, you do a lot. You cannot even carry yourself out. You can't even buy yourself something nice out of, just to celebrate yourself. Look, if you don't do it for yourself, who is going to do it for you? So reward yourself when you reach a milestone to stay motivated. You can go on a trip, or maybe you can even go out, have a nice meal, dinner, buy yourself a nice suit. Just do something, reward yourself, or pay for a program that will help develop you, like spoil yourself. Learn to spoil yourself. Don't be too serious. They say that business is not that serious. Don't be too serious. Don't be too rigid, okay? Track your progress regularly, all the time. Make sure you track your progress. What are we doing now? A simple exercise, what I do daily with my team is, at the end of the day, I ask myself, or I ask them, what have we achieved today? It helps us to know if we're in line with our goals, our vision, and not just that, our business activities that generate revenue. Because so many of us go about carrying out activities that are not productive and will not generate revenues, or are not driving us towards, where we should be. And so for that reason, we are not profitable, we are not achieving goals, and we just feel like it's difficult. So what we do at the end of the day is, what did we achieve today? What did we do around our goals? You can also use tools like calendars, journals, or apps to monitor your progress, okay? Now we're drawing close to the conclusion of these. Overcoming challenges. Yesterday, people drew out questions. Challenges will come in the way. I already told you, challenges are bound to come in the way of a business owner. Yesterday, I told you, you need to develop a strong mental attitude. That is where you, as the driver of the business, you need to pay attention to your emotions, because a lot of things will happen around your business that will drive your emotions. So many discouraging things will happen. Business might not go very well with your team. It might not go well with your partners. It might not even go well, things might not align for you the way you want to, which will affect your emotions. You have to learn to develop a strong mental state. That's the reason why there are key personal development programs that you should not ignore as a business owner, just to make you be in character, just to make sure that you are preparing yourself for the business journey that you are in. So now, common barriers, procrastination. Of course, a large number of people, close to 80 to 85% of people fall within this category. Putting off tasks, putting off activities, putting off actions. You cannot achieve results that way. Self-doubt. Some of you are well equipped. You have what it takes, but you're still doubting yourself. And you're saying, I am not good enough. I'm not qualified to go there. I'm not qualified to speak. My business is not up to the level that it should be. So I don't want to be in the program. If they ask me questions, I might not be able to respond. These are common barriers, okay? Lack of resources or distractions. Some businesses, they do not have enough resources. You don't invest enough in your resources, be it personnel, be it the tools that you need to drive your business. And this can be a barrier. Like, just identify the key resources that you need for your business and get them. Grow with time and improve on them. Don't wait until you reach a level before you begin to acquire them. You will not grow at the pace that you want to grow. And of course, distractions. These are common barriers. Now let's look at the strategies to overcome them. Number one, revisit your vision to stay motivated. Remember, I told you from the beginning, your vision drives you, it motivates you. Then what do? You break overwhelming goals into smaller steps, like I have taught you, okay? Then what? You seek help, or you delegate tasks when needed. Seek help, seek mentorship, seek advice. You can get a business coach. You can get, attend seminars, ask questions. You are not an island. Ask questions so that you can grow. If you're not asking questions, you will not grow. Ask questions related to business. Ask people who are overcoming. Ask people who are already successful in the area of what you're looking for. Go and find key resources. We have so many platforms that you can look. Now there information everywhere. Go and look for information in line with what you need. And of course, make sure you develop yourself. Develop yourself. Develop your employees. Build up on your business. Invest in your business, and your business will pay you. So in conclusion, in achieving your annual goals for the year, this is the design. This is a template that you can use, simple enough, that will help you. And of course, don't forget all that we mentioned. Make sure you use the SMART goal framework. Make sure that your goals stem from your vision, and make sure your goals are purpose-driven goals, so that when you experience challenges, you can easily overcome them. Do not ignore yourself as the driver of the business. Don't ignore yourself. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very, very much, Ms. Selina. That was very, very informative. It's very educational. I'm sure so many of us have learned something very, very new and very helpful today. Thank you so much. So with a show of hands, if you have any questions for Mrs. Selina, please raise your hands and we can call you out.
Thank you.
Okay, I have. Okay. They dropped the hand. So as we wait for questions, I want us to actually take these exercise steps very seriously. He gave us these exercise steps. He said, define your goals, and then identify key milestones, and then create a timeline, then add action steps. Please, let's take it seriously and do it in our own, free time. Let's see them be motivated and take these exercise steps very seriously. So do we have any question? We're going to, Ms. Selina, is it okay for us to put your phone number on the group chat so that they can contact you?
Yes, sure, that's fine.
All right, okay, thank you very much. We're going to put her phone number there, but you only call her during office hours.
And also, I also have this material for them. They can have it as well. So I'll send it to you. You can give it to them.
Very much. I can hear them clapping. In as much as I can't see them, I can hear them clapping. Thank you so much. We are really, really grateful, Ma. Honestly, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we'll go to our next speaker from NEPC, Nigerian Export and Promotion Council. Thank you so much, Ma, for waiting. Mrs. Ngozi Ibe, if you're here with us, she's going to talk to us about their mandate. Mrs. Ngozi Ibe.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning, Ma. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning once more. I bring you greetings from the Executive Director, CEO of Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Mrs. Noye Ayeni. Thank you, Smidan, for organizing and inviting NEPC to be part of this conversation. I am Ngozi Ibe, Head Export Inclusiveness Division, comprised of women, youth, and persons with disability. So my presentation is on our mandate and activities to promote inclusiveness in the non-oil export sector. So we have a bit of an outline. Next slide, please. The outline is there. The outline has to do with introduction about NEPC to non-oil export sector in Nigeria. Number 3, we have how to start an export business. Number 4, we have the NEPC export inclusiveness programs. Number 5, we have the support for MSMEs. Number 6, we have key takeaways, and number 7, usefulness. So NEPC, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, is the federal government agency for promoting, the apex institution for promotion, development, and diversification of exports. Our vision is to make the world a marketplace for Nigerian non-oil export products. Our mission is to spearhead the diversification of the Nigerian economy by expanding and increasing non-oil exports for sustainable and inclusive economic growth. So our strategy is to diversify the productive base of the Nigerian economy away from crude oil and foster market-oriented, private sector-driven economy through products development. So we have also some of our activities, NEPC activities, registration of exporters, export trainings and seminars, providing market information, matching Nigerian exporters with potential buyers, advisory and coaching services. We have the administration of export incentives. We also do the support in trade promotion services. And also we have the support for women, youth, and persons living with disabilities. So in a nutshell, exports generally are goods and services that are produced in one country and sold to buyers in another country. The benefits of exporting include number one reason for going into export is, of course, to get foreign exchange. Other reasons could be to explore new markets, technologies, enhance foreign exchange earnings. I think I mentioned that. Increase market share, spread out market risk, growth, and ensure that there is a growth in GDP for Nigeria, and also knowledge exchange. Major sectors in the non-oil export, we have the manufacturing sector, we have the agri sector, we have the solid minerals, we have services export. Also, we have the prohibited goods you can export out of Nigeria, and they include, number 1, maize, scrap metals, raw hides and skin, unprocessed rubber latex and rubber lumps. We have timber, sawn or rough. We have artifacts and antiquities. We have wild animals classified as endangered species and their products. And we also have all goods imported can be exported out of Nigeria. So Nigeria's non-oil exports in the first half of 2024, this is just a brief of our performance. We had $2.7 billion for non-oil export earnings, and our top 3 products were fertilizer, we have the cocoa beans and sesame seeds. And our top 3 export destinations were Netherlands, Malaysia, and Brazil. Now, for beginners, what we normally advise is for you to start an export business, you need to do a self-evaluation of yourself. We have online tools, they are in our websites. You do an export readiness check to assess yourself. You know, for you to do exports, it's capital intensive, and we wouldn't want you to go get your hands burned. So it's important you do an export readiness check before proceeding to do your registration with the NEPC. You do your market research. Sometimes we'll also assist you in doing your market research, and we give you the reports of such to know how your products will perform in that specific market. Then you go ahead to do your export planning, your export documentations and procedures. You consider the logistics and the freight issues, then the export pricing, export finance, and legal issues. So for the exports, NEPC Export Inclusiveness Program, the NEPC created the Inclusiveness Division in 2023 to help promote the participation of women, the youth, and special needs entrepreneurs in non-oil export business. So we have 3 units under the Inclusiveness Division. So I'll talk briefly about the NEPC She Trades Initiative. The She Trades Initiative was launched by the International Trade Center, which is an agency under the World Trade Organizations. It aims to remove barriers to women's participation in international trade through collaboration with public and private sector partners. NEPC is a She Trade hub for Nigeria. So amongst the many programs we we undertake to enable women-led businesses to scale through or to go do export. We do capacity building programs which comprise of trainings, online webinars, mentorship, coaching programs. We also have an advisory programs. We have we also enable market access, and we also assist the women-led businesses register with the She Trades initiative so that they can maximize their participation in this initiative. So, as I earlier said, the activities are highlighted. We also do a lot of matchmaking with potential buyers. We organize export trainings and seminars in conjunction with the International Trade Center. We also do support. We avail support in collective trade promotion services, even with the hubs in Africa. We do a lot of collaboration services with them. So we are also doing the export mentorship, practical export mentorship program, which has been ongoing since 2016. So another key program NEPC is undertaking to support MSMEs is the Go Global Go certification, which was launched in 2021 to enhance global market access for Nigerian products through the implementations of voluntary certifications like HACCP, FDA, Halal. NEPC, we know these certifications are very expensive, so to make our Nigerian women products competitive in the global space, we undertake these certifications on their behalf. The first batch was done 2 years back, and we're currently running the second batch where about 400 women have registered, and they're going to go through the certification processes. So the key takeaways, there are numerous opportunities for economic empowerment through non-oil export. NEPC is always available to help you achieve your export goals. So we have some useful links. You can get to our website for more information on our activities, www.nepc.gov.ng, and other handles are also there. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Mrs. Ngozi. We really appreciate that. And if there are any questions, please, with a show of hand, we'll call you out to speak. Okay, we have Ms. Oweretan H. Please go on with your question, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Madam Ibe, Ed Export NEPC. So my question is coming from your last point you mentioned, where you said Go Global, Go certification, and NEPC is helping out in corporate sponsorship. May I know, Madam, how do MSMEs, SMEs get to register for this opportunity, ma'am? Thank you.
Okay, can I answer that?
Yes, please, ma'am. You can go on.
Yes, there was a call that was made late last year, for interested women-led businesses to participate in this. And also our website, there are lots of information. It was also there. I know it's been ongoing and it was just closed recently. Yes. So
hello, ma. Are you there? Ms. Ngozi, we can't hear you. Mrs. Ngozi, I think you're muted.
We also want to know, Madam, if it is closed, that is for this year, started last year, if it is closed, is it going to be an annual thing? If it is a year's annual thing, when should MSME start looking forward to reopening for next year's application? Thank you, ma.
Hello.
Hello, Mrs. Ngozi.
Okay, yes. I said most times when we're about to start such, it's usually publicized in newspapers, is on our website and all that. So, like I said earlier, the last one was just, the call was done in November, yes, of last year. Right now, we're into phase 2. So, but for the next one, you need to look out, or you need to look out for the next call, because we can't categorically tell you it's an annual thing. When we know, there's a need for it. This is second batch. It's second batch we're dealing with. So it could come up just anytime. So just keep checking our websites for updates and all that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. Miss Oworetan, I hope you're okay.
Yes, I am. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. We have somebody, Humu. I don't know if it's a male or female. Sorry. Humu. Okay. Then let's go to Mrs. Antonia Golo. Mrs. Antonia, you can go ahead and ask your question. Hello, Mrs. Antonia. Okay, maybe we've lost them. Let's go on to Mrs. Bridget Obi. Mrs. Bridget Obi, are you there? Okay. Miss Umu is online.
Yes, they are just unmuted now. My question is similar to the one those previous speakers just spoken. But in addition, what about the webinars and the mentorship program that she's mentioned? How can we get connected to it? And then linking to buyer of a thing, how can we have the opportunity of that? Because I was able to registration. I did registration for NNPC 2023, and I couldn't make use of it before it got expired because of the linkage and the networking. So I couldn't get link on the network with how to get started. So I want to know, linking to buyers, how do they normally do that one? And then to have access to the webinars and the mentorship program, how can we go about it?
Hello. Okay. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Hello. Okay, for the mentorship webinar programs through the ICC She Trades program, you just need to get in touch with us, or I could drop my phone number to send you the link for you to be part of that initiative, because there are programs that are normally held monthly, quarterly. So, but for 2025, we've started something on packaging. Yes. Okay. So for linking to buyers, you need to write to us officially. We take your information, then we forward it to the market access department to help you get what you need and that will suit your products too. So we need a whole lot of information for you to get started.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. How can I start with that one that you just mentioned?
Okay, the ITC She Trade link, I'll drop my number. I'll get in touch with the SMIDAN coordinator. We'll send a link to them so that women on this, it can be shared to the women on this platform. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much, ma, for those answers. We have Miss Bridget. I think she'll be the last person who will take. We have Miss Bridget Obi.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to appreciate the NEPC staff for that detailed documentation materials given to us. I just wanted to tell my sister that was asking her, because my company actually is one of the ones that are benefited from the certification that they published late last year. I think that the best option is for people to go to their state NEPC and follow, because they are the ones that actually recommend for female companies that are doing well. If you are working with your state NEPC, it's easier for them to tell you those things. You know, they normally create a platform and if you're in that platform, anything that is coming from the national is placed in the state platform for NEPC. So if you are there, you get all those information. If you are not there, it is difficult for you to get national publications without, because the states are actually the ones that are fishing out young entrepreneurs and those that are product ready. So we sent our own products. We tried 2 years ago. We didn't get bored. By the time we were able to work on our products, last year, our own was selected. So we are one of the beneficiaries. A lot is going on NEPC. A lot is going on women-driven businesses, small businesses. So we have a lot of opportunity. And I want to talk to my colleagues to actually register with NNPC, register with SMIDAN, and all this, because all of them also go together. SMIDAN, register with SMIDAN officially, and be connected also in your state, because all these companies, all the institutions are in the states. And when the state fish you out and know that you are somebody that is serious, they will always give you all this information and recommend you too. Thank you so much. And that is just my submission.
Thank you very, very much, Mrs. Ngozi. We really appreciate your time. Is it okay, Ma, for us to put your contact on the chat?
Yes, please.
All right. So, okay, you can just help us put it yourself. You can just write your number there on the chat, Ma, so that they can get through to you. All right. So thank you very much, Ma. We really appreciate you. So our next speaker is from Customs, Nigerian Customs Services. We thank you so much for waiting. They are going to take us through their mandates so that we know. Sometimes our MSMEs don't even know how customs affect or can affect their businesses. So we're going to invite Chief Superintendent Abimbola Raymond. And after customs, SMIDAN is coming to tell you much about our mandate as well, and how we can help our MSMEs develop themselves. So please, I want you all to stay tuned. So Chief Superintendent Abimbola Raymond, we're ready for you, ma.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma.
Okay, I don't know if you can see my screen.
Okay, yes, we can see your screen now, ma.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I bring you greetings from the Comptroller General of Customs. This morning, I'll be briefly telling us on the customs mandates, our processes. My name is Olaide Abimbola Raymond, Chief Superintendent of Customs from the Tariff and Trade Department of the Nigeria Customs Service and the Import and Export Unit. So I just have 10 minutes, but I'll quickly like to, not boss. Can you hear me, please? Are you with me? Okay. So I'll quickly take us through the core mandate of customs and to tell us what exactly customs processes and procedures are, because at times there are so many questions that come with respect to our mandate and what we do. So I'll just go straight up without any much ado. Custom clearance processes in Nigeria, it involves several series and several steps, documentation, in which a lot of people are not fully aware of. And as we all know, knowledge is power. When you are aware of something, to go about it will not be a problem. It will not be difficult. So the major mandates, which is number one, to collect revenue as custom officers, to collect revenue. That's then number two, to facilitate trade, then also to facilitate trade and to prevent smuggling activities. And over time, as the world is, we know the world is global and there are a lot of changes that are ongoing now. From this slide that I just shared now, we can see our traditional functions and the additional functions that we have. The main mandate is for collection of revenue. That's collection of duties on some imported items that are dutiable and other taxes. Then we have security, that's anti-smuggling activities that may cause destructions to our society and our environment as humans. Then we have statistics for collection statistics in order to make informed decisions. The government needs it. But over time, we have seen, due to the large volume of trade and how the world is going global, what all the things that are needed, some other additional functions have been added to customs. Other countries are fully into this now, practicing this. We have the trade facilitation, the supply chain security, protection of the environment, and cross-border e-commerce. I would not like to bore us on this, so I'll just proceed and as we go further. Also, this is our legal framework, because some people do ask, there are some decisions which is being taken, especially with respect to valuation and classification of good when you want to collect duties for our women. Now I'll be digressing a bit, because I believe the majority of the people that are here are women in business and in small business enterprise, small business. So I'll be digressing a bit so that to be inculcating us into the custom processes. For instance, now there are some of this is like the custom holy book. Let me so to say, we call it the NCS Act 2023. So all the is our legal framework. It's like our legal book for every decision that has been taken with respect to valuation, classification, rules of origin, all that. Every decision being taken on import and export is being taken, this is the legal backing. I'll not bore us on this. Let me proceed so that we can, I don't want to exceed the time given to me. So the next one now is the stages of custom clearance. We have what we call the pre-arrival clearance process. Then we have the post-arrival and post-shipment. That's the pre-shipment, the post-shipment. Then we have the arrival clearance and the post-clearance audits. That's after the goods have come into the country. We still do post-clearance audits. But before going further, I would like to briefly digress a bit and tell us of one of the mandates that one of the mandates of customs, which is to facilitate trade. Also, and in order to facilitate this trade, there's this authorized economy operator. This is an initiative that fosters the collaboration among stakeholders, streamlining custom processes and enhancing trade efficiency. Now, I will come down to the women in business in Nigeria. This AEO has really helped a lot of businesses. A lot of most countries are already practicing it, and I like to tell us just briefly, what the AEO is. And I'm sure some of us are already aware of it. Authorized Economic Operator is a certification that is granted by customs authorities to businesses involved in international trade, thereby recognizing them as reliable partners in supply chain. This is established by the World Customs Organization. So the AEO program enhances security and facilitates trade by ensuring compliance with customs regulations, security standard. So the Nigeria Customs Service can simplify and facilitate women in business, particularly SMEs. Because as I speak to you now, there's also a program that is ongoing, and that is ongoing. We call it Compliance Improvement Program, and is like a unit. The AEO we have is a unit in the customs service on its own. And for women, there's a program on it. Like for instance, now this SMIDAN, I thought if it's just for AEO, if you want to know more about it, there's a program that is ongoing. It's Compliance Improvement Plan Training. They do it for women in business in order to help them to familiarize themselves with the custom processes to be made simple. The custom processes being made simple. So as I said earlier, that this streamlining custom processes and foster collaboration among stakeholders. So the Nigeria Single Window and the Nigeria Single Window Portal Trade also is part of the process. It's the part of the process that streamline the custom processes. Now it's a single window. You are just submitting only one document. One document is being submitted there, and every person can access it. I will quickly, let me leave the AEO, we'll come back to it because I know there's going to be a lot of question probably with respect to that. Then before going speaking on custom clearance and regulation compliance too, I would like to also mention that one of the protocol of AFTA is women in business. So we can see that women are really being in mind when it comes to the business ecosystem now. When it comes to the processes of business in Nigeria. So the protocol on business for women in business, is one of the protocol of AFTA, which the Nigeria women in business can key into. So shortly, I will just go into the custom clearance and regulatory compliance too. Those are very, very two crucial and important procedures that for every importer and exporter, women in business, maybe probably some of the SMEs are planning to go international, to begin international trade. I'll just speak briefly, as you can see from the screen, and I'm sharing presently, how the custom clearance process begins. For those that are already into the business, I'm sure this is not going to be a new thing in international trade. This is not a new thing, but for those of us that are about to, so this is just a very simple view on clearance on how the custom clearance goes. We have the Form M, submission of Form M to your approved bank. Then the E-Form M, after it's been approved, it will be submitted, and it will be validated. After it's been submitted, it will be validated, then approved, then accepted. These are the process. You can see the stages, how it goes. Then we now have what the final documentation being submitted. Then let me come to the custom, because this now the E-Form M is the bank. We're talking from the bank, the approved bank through the central bank. These processes starts from them. Then we now come to the custom, where we have EPA, this electronic pre-arrival assessment report. That's what PAS stands for, pre-arrival assessment report. So it's being submitted this way when it comes to the custom, because the document is being sent electronically to the custom portal for this now. Then we submit the e-manifest. These are all the documents that are needed, that are required. As you can see, sorry, please. Then I want to quickly just mention the import documentations. We have the import documentation. There are some documents that are needed. The document that's the pro forma invoice, the bill of lading, the CCVO, that is a combined certificate of value and origin, the packing list as mandatory, is needed. Then we have the custom valuation, impact of the value for custom purpose. Custom will do the valuation based on the item that is being imported. The origin also is determined. And we have what we call preference and trade agreement to be paid. So depending on which country your item is coming from as an importer, as a woman in business, there are some countries that we have trade agreements with. So that's that on origin. We have some preferential treatments that we give to those countries that we have agreements with, that we call them we have the non-preferential and non-preferential trade agreement. So that is that. Then we have classification. This tariff classification is being done based on each value. Each value has its own classification and rates that it carries, rates of duty. We have the risk profiling. Then we have the other parastatals, agency and their regulation. I want to emphasize on this last part, the regulation compliance part. Now, the regulatory compliance is very, very important. There are some of us that, because at the point there was a meeting, was it last year I attended at the NEPC, and some people had issue with certification from NAFDAC, SON, NESRA, and all that. So it is very, very important we comply with all these regulations. We make sure that we are being satisfied by them. So next is the pre-arrival processing document. My time is already going. Pre-arrival processing documents, all the things that need to be put in place, the TIN registration, all the documents, I've mentioned it earlier, the proper description, the item needs to be properly described for the purpose of classification, so that at the end of the day, there will not be trade will not be delayed. There's going to be facilitation of trade, which is one of our core mandates, as I earlier mentioned. So I'll be taking us through the pre-shipment process. The pre-shipment process to the customs, the dealer bank, the importer, and all this, as I earlier said, that once your documents are properly aligned, there's compliance. There's not going to be room for delay. So I'm going to this also, procedure after shipment. We have the customs. From the custom, the designated bank, the supplier, the shipment. I'm going to share this slide with us so that we can have time to go through it. I think I just have like 3 more minutes left, so because I'd like to take questions if there's any. Then this is okay. I told us earlier on about the AEO import process flow, and I told us that those are the AEO authorized economy operator program can significantly benefit the women-owned business, SMEs in Nigeria, because it helps to expedite the custom process. It enhances trade facilitation. This program fosters mutual trust between the custom authority and businesses, creating more reliable trading environment for women in entrepreneurship. Then also access to capacity building. AEO participants often receive training and resource that enhance their operational efficiency. As I mentioned to us earlier, that presently there is a compliance improvement program. A compliance improvement program, and training can come, and you can invite customs. The AEO can come. the AO unit can come so that to enlighten women more on it. We call it compliance improvement plan training, so as to familiarize the women in business on these processes. Also, it increased market opportunity by streamlining custom processes. The authorized economy operator helps women-owned business to access broader markets, thereby boosting their competitiveness and growth potential. So it is very, very important if we can key into that. Then we now have the pre-arrival assessment report. Pre-arrival and the custom clearance process. Upon its arrival, we have the trader zone, the custom zone. These are what goes on there. The agent, when the goods is already has landed at ports. Now, these are before the release of the goods, there's what we called the risk management outcome. And this is what is going to determine the routes in which our goods will be routed to. For the green lane, we have the green lane, which means there is no room for any form of examination. The blue lane, the fast track, that's documentary check, the scanning. The fiscal examination, it's when we found out that there's discrepancy or there's an issue with the importation. So the custom trader zone, here we have the agent collect the importer documents. These are the processes. These are the processes. I would not like to buzz on it. I said I was going to share the slide so that we can just get done with it. The SGD, we call it single good declaration process for imports. Then I want us to go to that of import. Thank God the NEPC official had spoken a lot on the export process, so I would not like to dwell much on that. Then we now have the release and exit of the consignment. These are the steps in which it takes for the goods to be released. Then the export procedure, she had made mention of it, but I would just like to buttress, as they rightly said, commercial export consists of both oil, including its derivative, and non-oil and dried cargo. As the government, in alignment with the vision of the president now, we know is trying to encourage the exportation of dried cargo. Let's shift a bit from oil exportation so as to look inward, to look inward. So we have the dried cargo exports from Nigeria to other countries in bulk commercial purpose, for bulk commercial purposes. So I will not dwell much on this. We have been told a lot about that. Also, the same process is needed. Then we have the exports procedure. This is a continuation on, for every export, it's required to pay the 0.5 FOB Nigeria Export Supervision Scheme and administrative charges for the intending exporters. Then export clearance process follows this thus. Then post-clearance audit, this after the goods have been imported, exited, and after the goods have exited the customs territory. So we have the e-custom and single window. I also told us that this is one of the means in which we are trying to facilitate trade. The single window means document is being submitted, your document, you can view, your document is being submitted here, and a lot of agencies are present here that they can also access the document. For instance, I was trying to refer us back to the meeting I said I attended, that we have we are trying to remove bottlenecks from our processes. For instance, somebody was asking about NAFDAC, SON, they are doing the same thing, this, that, the same document you submit to NAFDAC is what you submit to SON. But with the coming with this advent of a single window, I don't think there's room for that again. So all those bureaucracy is now being cut. So finally, I would like to say thank you for listening. And sorry, I know I've exceeded my 10 minutes given. I would like to ask if there's any question, please. Also, I'll forward the link. Peradventure, I'm unable to exhaust all the questions here, or there are further clarifications that you may need. There's some link here, the info@customs.gov.ng. Then we have the pro@customs.gov.ng. We have our helpdesk at customs.gov.ng, and numbers that I will share with the host so that they can share with us. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very, very much, CS Abimbola. We really, really appreciate you. And I'm very, very glad that you spoke about female-owned enterprises, especially on the AEO scheme. SMEDA's intention is to onboard more female-owned enterprises on that scheme, because we know that we have so much untapped potential in that space, especially as it regards exportation. So thank you very, very much, CS Abimbola.
Thank you.
So we're going to take only 2 questions because we've run out of time. So please, with a show of hands, if we have any questions for CS Abimbola. Okay, I don't see any hand. But I think it's okay for us to share your contacts on the platform.
Yes, and I would also like to share the official email, so that official email and contacts also for proper
communication,
channeling of communication. Yes.
All right. I have one question from.
Okay, go ahead, please. I'm with you. I'm with you, please. Hello?
Okay, sorry, someone is asking.
Okay.
What is the role of Nigerian customs in facilitating the export of consumables like dry beans flour and dry fish?
Dry maize,
beans flour and dry fish.
Please, yes, I think I hear you. And dry fish, okay. There's the person that spoke earlier, the official from the Nigeria Exports Processing, Nigeria Exports Promotion Council spoke about the exports prohibition list. There's what we call export prohibition list. That's the first thing we have to know. If the item is not on the export prohibition list, then it's valid for. There are some certification that need to be met. That need to be. We had instances that goods will leave the shores of Nigeria to turn them back. The certification, the international standards being taken to. So once all this process, hello?
We are with you.
Hello, CS Abimbola. I guess the network is bad. Okay, we're going to put our contact.
What to do.
Okay, we're going to put our contact on the chat so that those of us that have questions can easily get through to her. So I would like to welcome my Director General, Mr. Charles Odi. He is online and he's going to address the House. You're welcome, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Okay, you're welcome, sir. So this is my Director General, Mr. Charles Odi. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please, can you confirm you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes.
We can hear
I just
you,
want to
sir.
use the opportunity to thank you, Mrs. Celine. I was a part of the session yesterday, and the feedback we've been getting have been phenomenal. But in addition to the vision alignment, I just want to say a couple of things that we can help our small businesses achieve their goals and visions for the year 2025. So my name is Charles Odi. I lead the team at the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria. And our mandate is focused on job creation, poverty alleviation, rural industrialization, and livelihood enhancement. And one of the things that we have started to do is to provide guidance, resources, opportunities, and workforce support for our MSMEs and everyone in the ecosystem. And this is something we've teamed as GROW. GROW. G stands for guidance, R stands for resources, O stands for opportunities, and W stands for workforce support. We believe with the right amount of guidance, the right amount of resources, the right amount of opportunities, the right amount of workforce support, any nano business can metamorphose into a micro business, any micro business can turn into a small business, any small business can turn into a medium business. And one of the ways that we want to help to achieve this thing is by just making sure that our small businesses have the right support that they need. So right now, as a small business owner in any of our states offices, we have something called our business clinics. Our business clinics are very similar to your journey in a hospital where you work in and almost immediately you can get diagnosed as to whatever the problems are. We have trained certified business development service providers to provide business support services for anyone who wants to start, scale, and grow their enterprises across the 30 states and the FCT. So as a business owner, I will encourage you to please visit our offices wherever it is that you're located. If you can go on our website, you can get the phone numbers of the state managers as well as the address where these offices are located. And almost immediately, you can get the kind of support that you need to grow and thrive. His Excellency the President has been magnanimous to approve the sum of 200 billion naira for enterprises in Nigeria, 50 billion naira in terms of grants, to the sum of 50,000 naira to 1 million small businesses across 30 states and the FCT, another 75 billion naira in terms of loans for small businesses, and 75 billion naira in terms of loans at single digits for large enterprises. For us at SMEDA, what we have begun to do is to also negotiate other sources of financing for small businesses in the ecosystem. So we've negotiated to the tune of 12 billion naira, where small businesses can access funds at a single-digit interest rate for three purposes: to add to their workforce support, to add to their work equipment, to add to their working capital, and also to procure workspaces. And I'm very glad that His Excellency, my predecessor, the governor of Katsina, just only last week, released to the tune of approximately 250 million naira for small businesses in the states. We are encouraging that. We have negotiated with other states like Enugu, Anambra, Cross River, and Zamfara to make sure that small businesses in those states can actually get more financing at single-digit interest rate for their enterprises. If we haven't called your state and got into your state, you can also access this through an MOU was signed with Sterling Bank, where small businesses can access from as little as 250,000 naira to as much as 2.5 million naira for these three purposes. We want to, why are we doing this? We're doing this because we understand that our small businesses are very entrepreneurial and they have the capacity to help employ a lot more people. And so we're trying to solve the problem of finances for our small businesses. In addition to that, we have begun testing some models. So right now, if you walk into a Smedan complex in Idu, our small businesses, especially those in the fashion, textile, and garment industry, have resources and infrastructure where they can walk in, come in their materials, don't bother about sewing machines, you don't bother about power. The machines have been provided for them. They can come here, sew their garments, warehouse the garments in Smedan, and with another MOU we've negotiated with God is Good Logistics and NIPOS can distribute it at a discounted rate across the 6 states and the FCT. So these are some of the things that I think that we are doing to help our small businesses thrive. And I'm here to take any questions that you might have as regards how we can continue to support you at the ecosystem to make sure that the small businesses across the 36 states and the FCT have all they need in terms of guidance, all they need in terms of resources, all they need in terms of opportunities and workforce support. Thank you. I will take any questions right now.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for that very informative session. So please, with a show of hands, if you have any questions for my Director General, you can ask. Okay, I can see Miss Priscilla Akpason Nwosu. Priscilla Akpason Nwosu, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Priscilla. Thank you for a wonderful session from this morning up to this time. Thank you, DG, for all the work you're doing. I'm into shea butter processing and cosmetics along its value chain. Before you started mentioning that fashion side of the entrepreneurial business have a place there in Smedan to work, I was going to ask if Smedan has a space for small cosmetic businesses to work. I have a space in Kwali, but at Kwali there is no light, and they were giving me some astronomical amount of money, over 33 million, to have light in that space. So I wanted to ask if there's a space that people for in cosmetics can use there at the Smedan complex. Just asking. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that question. My DG, would you like to get all the questions and then you answer?
Yes, let's just take them in group of 5.
Okay, sir. So, Ms. Oworetan H, you can go on and ask your question.
Thank you very much, DG Smedan. My question is coming from just the previous speaker, space for utilization, manufacturing or production space. So this Smedan complex, is it replicated in all the states in Nigeria? And can we find these spaces as existing in Lagos State, Osun State, and Ogun State? My other question, sir, is regarding the 50 billion grant, extract of the magnanimity of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. How do MSMEs or women-based network groups find access to even applying for these grants, or where do we find very detailed information to start applying so as to benefit from this positive funding? Thank you, sir.
Miss Bridget Obi. Miss Bridget Obi, you can go on and ask your question.
Thank you so much, moderator, and thank you, DG. You are doing a wonderful work. What most of us are actually talking about is this cluster you have formed in Abuja. How do we in the States, I'm into food processing and packaging for exports and for supermarkets, chain stores. So, but this, we read women, especially for women need SMIDAN and the states to have a collaboration and having a workplace for us so that we can actually share, this energy costs and share facilities. Most of the things we do, as in food production, we need something like dehydrators. Dehydrator, the little you can have will not help you to do mass production. But if we have such a facility, a common facility, where we have commercially, facility that can do a commercial production, sometimes you have, you may have order, but you may not be able to meet because of the processes of dehydrating, milling, and certification. SMEDAN has done a lot, but this common facility is something that will actually move us from producing maybe 50 or 100 sachets to maybe 1,000 or 2,000 within a day or 1 week or 1 week. So, scaling up, we need common facility because we don't have the money for having it on our own. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Bridget. Allied, I think this is commodities.
Yes, thank you very much, Your Excellency. Mine is not a question. I'm only trying to salute your courage and your tenacity and your total honesty in the making sure that the renewed hope agenda of the president is being achieved. Thank God that you have been brought on board to oversee all that caters for the small and medium scales in Nigeria. And I can see your passion and your real focus in making sure that the SMSC in Nigeria is taken to a greater height. So on behalf of the Agro-Allied Commodities Cooperatives of Nigeria Limited, under the Federal Department of Cooperatives, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, we send you greetings and we are sure to work with you in making sure that the grassroots people of Nigeria, both women, youth, people living with disabilities, farmers in the cooperative sectors, are being imbibed and inculcated into all these programs. And together we take Nigeria to a greater height. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Agro-Allied. We appreciate that. So we're going to take the last question is from Ms. Modukwe Oyekunle. Ms. Modukwe Oyekunle, please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Well done, ma'am, and good afternoon to our DG. I'd already posted my comment, and my comment is, I know that probably there will be plans for that, but my comment is a roundtable, a suggestion of a roundtable with presidents of associations, youth and female business associations, to be able to cascade down all that SMIDAN has for SMEs, so that whatever is being done would really, go wider, than we can even think or expect. So that's just my comment. I want to thank you for what you are doing, and I thank you for being forthright about what you want to do for MSMEs. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. My DG, sir.
Thank you all so much. Firstly, let me start by thanking you all for all the things that you do for the MSME ecosystem. At our last count, we had 39,658,000 1,454 small and medium enterprises cut across the 6 states and the FCT. And I'm confident that these numbers have increased, even though these are challenging times doing businesses in Nigeria. So I want to thank you all. I want to thank you profusely for all that you're doing. Everyone from all the states. And I know that my time here our time here is very limited. If we have any more questions, please, Mrs. Kwaru, who's on the call, works with us closely as Smedan. Let us please send the questions to her, and then I will make sure that all the questions are addressed. But for those that have the opportunity to ask questions today on this call, I'll start from the latter and go into the former. We currently have presence in the 36 states and the FCT. And one of the things that we do on a monthly basis is we have state managers who meet with all of the business member organizations and cooperatives in the states that are available to us. So I'll give you an instance. There's an association called NASME, the National Association of SMEs, right? NASME has a federal structure, and there's the national president, there's the national secretariat, who we meet with in Abuja. But there is also the state manager for NASME, who we meet with at the different. Sorry, can you hear me? I think I can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, sir.
So one of the things that we try to do is appeal to our small businesses. You know, what we used to do in time past is one-to-one. What we want to continue to do right now is one-to-many. So we cannot be in Okigwe local government, in Imo State at the same time, and be in Potiskum local government in Yobe State at the same time. But what we can do is we can actually aggregate as a group and a collective. So I'd say to our small businesses, please join a business member organization, please join a cooperative, so that by the time we start our intervention, it's easier to actually reach out to you, because we might miss you as a single entrepreneur operating in isolation. But when you're operating with a group and operating with a group of people or business member organization, it will be hard to miss you. So please try to join a cooperative, try to join a business member organization. And I can tell you that we will try to make as much as possible the kind of resources that you need to grow and thrive. For the lady who spoke about the round table, we have the National MSME Conference every year, where we bring about academia, private sector, small business owners, and government to foster conversations around doing businesses and policies that affect the MSME ecosystem in Nigeria. The next edition will be happening again in the month of October this year, and I will make sure that, if you let us have your details, we'll give you more information about that. And then we would like to this year break down the different days into different clusters. So businesses who are female-owned, businesses that are youth-owned, businesses that are in different sectors like shea butter, hibiscus flower, and all of that. We'll break them down and try and make sure that we get all the guidance, all the resources, all the opportunities, and all the workforce support that people need in those areas for them to grow and thrive. Now, the lady who has spoken about food processing and packaging, what we have right here in our office in Idu is a food processing and packaging facility, which we have just installed. We will soon start operations. And so if you can let us get your details, we would also make available some information for you to be able to access the facility. But for others who are doing business, especially for those who are doing this for exports, one of the things that we want to do is to make sure that you get a lot of support that you need. So we have international development partners from UNDP. We have UBA, who have some facilities for those who are doing businesses, especially under the AFCFTA agreements. So if you let us have your information, we'll also expose you to this kind of facility and infrastructure where you can get funding to expand your business and also to work out of our shared facility here. The purpose of working out of our shared facility is for the fact that you don't have to pay, or is very discounted, And one of the things that we're trying to do is we have 23 industrial development centers like this cut across Nigeria. The lady who had mentioned Ogun, Osun, Lagos, they are very spot on. In these 3 states, we have the industrial development centers, and we are working closely with our private sector partners to make sure that those centers are functioning, and then you can take advantage of the centers as soon as possible. But in the meantime, we have, and if you let us know, if you write to us, we have some spaces. And for the lady who's doing share butter, we can also, we can bend over backwards to make sure that your business thrives. So if you would like to have a space where you can work out of, please write to us. Visit us at the headquarters. Mrs. Kwaru will take all the information and make sure that you're well attended to when you come to us at the headquarters. We have some spaces spread across in our facility, and we'll try to make sure that we can attend to you as a cluster and as a group so that we're leaving no one behind. The lady who was talking about the information, I'd like to say that the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the administration where the son of a nobody can become somebody without knowing anybody. And so by doing this, we're leveraging to a large extent on technology so that anyone, anywhere, wherever you are, you don't need to know me, you don't need to know any of the directors, you don't even need to know Mr. Kwaru. You can go to our website and just apply. And so by the time of disbursement, we go online, and then we'll try to reach you to do some verification to know that you actually need these funds, just so that one person is not taking multiple funds, and then the funds that we're giving to small businesses who need them. Because in time past, what we've done, we've meticulously given out some empowerment to small businesses, and we found out that they were not small businesses. So we want to eradicate that, and that's why we're using technology to drive this. So answering the question in short, we have industrial development centers spread across Nigeria, and we're working with our private sector partners, international development partners, to make sure that those centers are running. If the one in your state hasn't kicked off yet, please be patient with us. I admonish you to please be patient with us, so that and I give you my word, before the end of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's first administration, many of all our 23 industrial development centers will come into full operation. For those who need information, all of the information is online. Well, please, you have all our state managers' numbers online and our state offices. Please, I encourage you to visit them, inquire, ask for information. And for those who have said that they would like us to have a roundtable, we'll set those conversations in silos, and then give us your information. We'll push many more information to you, and we would like you to be a part of this. Before I go, I'd just like you to take down this website. It's our portal. It's www.smeregister.ng. www.smeregister.ng. Please go online or go to our website, www.smedan.gov.ng, and click register. We'd like to know you. We'd like to give you some more information, because one of the problems that I found out in government is that government is doing a lot of things, but the people that government is doing it for are not in the know. So I would like to bridge that gap between government and the small business owners, but we can't do that if we don't know who you are, if you don't know where you're located, if you don't know the problems that are confronting you. So I'll say to you to please go online, register, and then on a weekly basis, you will hear from us through our newsletters. We can continue to engage and make this discussion robust. I hope I've been able to answer some of your questions, and I would like to, on this note, wish you all a happy new year. And please always remember that as Smedan, we're your partners. We're here to make sure that you thrive. We're only successful if you're successful, and we are only accomplished if you're accomplished. So in anything that you do, in every way that you go, please start with Smedan. And I wish you the very best and blissful year 2025. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, my DG. We really appreciate your time. And as you can all see, my DG is a very passionate person as it relates to MSME. Thank you very much, sir. I'm going to call on the head of Women and Youth Unit, Mrs. Olabimpe Pawale, to give the closing remarks. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, all our participants, our partners, In fact, I cannot thank you enough. I can't thank you enough for being part of this program. Today, we've been on for almost 3 hours, and we still have our participants staying tuned with us. I can't thank you enough for being part of this. I can't thank you enough for yearning to learn and to make your businesses better. We've learned so much between yesterday and today on how to set our vision clearly, and how to attain our goals. Also from different regulatory institutions, our development partners, we've heard what they've got for us for our business to scale. We in Smidan, just like my DJ rightly said, we are committed and passionate about your growth. Feel free to approach us. Feel free to contact us. We leave some of our contacts with you for advisory services, for us to work hand in hand with you, for us to ensure that the growth that you are yearning Can you hear me now? Okay. Well, we'll leave our contact with you. Okay.
So thank you very much. Can you hear me? Hello? Can anybody hear me? Okay.
Loud and clear.
All right. So we really appreciate you, as my head of union have said, and I'm sure by now all of us would have a clear vision, and we at least can define and achieve our business goals for 2025. So thank you very much for sticking up with us. And if you have any questions, our contacts are online, as she said. So please do well to contact us. Thank you so much, Ms. Selina, for your time. Honestly, you have really, really taught a lot to our MSMEs, and I'm sure so many of them will contact you. Thank you so much, and I thank you all the regulatory bodies for being on board. We honestly appreciate you. Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.